Just when you thought Spider-Man Brand New Day couldn't get any crazier, they really said, you know what, he got two more for you. And I genuinely can't believe the words that I'm about to say, but Jon Bernthal's Punisher has officially joined Spider-Man Brand New Day, and this is the first time we're gonna see him on the big screen. This really means something to me. They got me feeling like Wilson Fisk in this. I find that a primal scream is the best way to release your emotions. But on top of that, we got even more casting news, more story details, and you know me, if I get crumbs, I'm gonna make a full course meal. Either way, me and you know what we gotta do. We gotta talk about it. Looking for this? This news comes to us exclusively from The Hollywood Reporter, who are reporting that Jon Bernthal will reprise his role as the Punisher in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And I know exactly what you're thinking. What the fuck? We'll get to how this could all make sense in a second, but I just gotta say, I'm so happy and grateful that we're actually gonna see Jon Bernthal's Punisher on the big screen, not just in the Accountant franchise. Just the idea of having Jon Bernthal's Punisher interacting with Tom Holland's Spider-Man on the big screen, Punisher and Spider-Man in general on the big screen. Because this right here is way before y'all's time. I've been wanting this since we had Thomas Jane and Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. I mean, the closest that we've ever gotten to seeing this team up on the big screen was at the end of Spider-Man 2, and that wasn't even Thomas Jane. They already confirmed that was bullshit. We never got it then. Well, maybe we can get it now. And this is probably wishful thinking, but it will be so tough. I'm talking T-U-F-F tough. If they recreate this classic ASM cover, I need that more than I need air. But the Spider-Man MCU franchise is now the two-time champion for Netflix characters showing up in a movie. His web really does connect them all for real. And I'm absolutely loving this Netflix character, the Spider-Man movie pipeline. It's electric. Can we get Luke Cage next? Matter of fact, it needs to be a mandate from Sony to get at least a little mention, a little tease, a little cameo, a little support character of one of the Defenders in the MCU in a Spider-Man movie. I need it more than I need air. It is a little weird that we're getting a Punisher and Spider-Man team up before a Spider-Man and Daredevil team up, but who knows, we might just get a little secret cameo. Because don't forget, after what happened in Daredevil Born Again Season 1, the Punisher is getting his own special presentation on Disney+. And I'm pretty sure that comes out next year along with Daredevil Born Again Season 2, and that's going to lead directly into Spider-Man Brand New Day, which now comes out before Doomsday and Secret Wars. So it looks like they might be starting to weave together these storylines, and I think the biggest thing is connecting these Netflix characters or the Disney Plus television side of things to the big screen. Hey, I'm not even going to hold you, bro. They might as well just steal this scene bar for bar again and just reuse it for Spider-Man and Punisher. Because the millisecond Spider-Man starts talking about, oh, let's go save some people. We can save them. Frank Castle's really going to say,
I do not have time for your candy-ass hero shit.
And if he does say that, I hope he's wearing some drip like this because... Now, as for what his potential involvement and storyline could be in Spider-Man Brand New Day, I do still think Spider-Man Brand New Day is going to have some element of a gang war storyline, because with the current political climate in New York City, thanks to Wilson Fisk outlawing all vigilantes, you got turf and territories up for grabs. And what is Frank Castle best known for? Murdering a bunch of gangs. But don't forget that Mark Ruffalo's Hulk is also set to appear in Spider-Man Brand New Day. And not only that, apparently they want to make the Savage Hulk one of the antagonists in this movie. So at one point in time in this movie, we're going to get an angry Hulk back, and we need that more than we need air. Hey, and I got to give a huge shout out to John Roca, who actually reported on this. I made a video on that all the way back in February. So now it's starting to be confirmed. Roll a clip.
Hear from one of my sources, who's a very strong source in the business, the plan for the new Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man fighting the Hulk with the Punisher. So it was going to be ground-based, but he was going to fight the Hulk because Marvel wants to move away from the intelligent Hulk that we saw in the Avengers movies. I don't know if that's what Tom Holland was reading and jumping around with Zendaya in his room excited about, because we know it's going back into rewrites. I don't know if they're rewriting the whole thing, but that was the plan that they told me about here a couple of weeks ago.
I'm not even gonna hold you. When I heard the news that we got Bruce Banner's Hulk in the movie, I was like, ah. But then I started thinking more about it, and I said, you know what? This could work. Because due to rights issues, Hulk can't even show up in his own movie, so you might as well throw him in other movies. And we still got to resolve a lot of what's happened to him since the events of Endgame and She-Hulk. the Spider-Man movies are really just the movies where they throw all the characters they have rights issues with. That's funny. Like, we gonna forget this man was clapping green cheeks in space. Motherfucker told Natasha he couldn't have kids, pulls up with a motherfucker with no hairline. But also, thanks to this supposedly fake leaked concept art, you already know the Hulks are going to play a huge factor in the upcoming Avengers movies, so we got to start talking about that shit again. And speaking of clapping cheeks and Hulks, don't forget we got another connection with Spider-Man thanks to Matt Murdock being in No Way Home and him being inside She-Hulk, figuratively and literally. I know a lot of people want to see this moment recreated because Hulk is the only one who remembers Peter Parker's identity as Spider-Man, but it doesn't make any sense in the MCU because they've never interacted. And even if they did try to do this, it would not hit. Funny enough, they actually did almost interact in Avengers Endgame when they were going to have the Hulk do the fastball special with Spider-Man in his hand, while Giant Man does the fastball special with Hulk and Spider-Man in his hand. And outside of being in the same vicinity of each other during Tony Stark's funeral in Endgame, they've never interacted and barely have mentioned each other. Bruce Banner saying there's an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man. And then here when Spider-Man's like, oh, the Hulk, I thought you'd be bigger. But there's also the whole gamma and science aspect of it that I think could make this really work. Having Bruce Banner be like a guest speaker at Empire State University while Peter's attending there could be fucking cool. And if you've seen my theory on how I think Bruce Banner could fit and work in this film, I would recommend watching this. I don't want to replay it here because it's a long ass video. But essentially, Mr. Negative is most likely in this movie, and Scorpion is also most likely in this movie. If they take cues from your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man, Scorpion's suit could be powered by what? Gamma. And who's your expert on Gamma? Boom. Oh, what happens when Mr. Negative corrupts the Hulk? He rages out, but even better, he turns him into Joe Fixit. I'm telling you, bro. And then we can get that Peter David team up between Spider-Man and Joe Fixit. Oh my God! Go watch this. It's fire. As for how the Punisher fits into all this, like I said, I think his role is probably going to be similar to Matt Murdock's role in No Way Home. Like, he'll probably show up for like a brief second. He'll be like a true cameo. And then I think Bruce Banner's going to be more of like a real supporting character. But this shit is starting to get real nuts, bro. I'm not going to hold you, bro. Spider-Man Brand New Day is shooting up my fucking... Oh my God, I'm so hyped for it. Y'all don't understand. Spider-Man is my guy. And I think the potential here, it could be better than No Way Home. I'm not even going to hold you, bro. I don't think it'll be the same theater experience because, I mean, Andrew Garfield, Tobey Maguire, what are we talking about? But I think in terms of a story, potential's there. I'm happy about all the new creative filmmakers we have working on this film. I think Destin Daniel Cretton understands the emotion, plus all the stunt coordinators from Shang-Chi are going to be working on this. So, you know, the fight scenes are going to be fire. And again, No Way Home left Peter Parker in the perfect position to pick up the pieces. So I need them to cook. And finally, that brings us to the entire cast that we've had officially confirmed so far. Obviously, we have the return of our titular character in Tom Holland as Peter Parker Spider-Man. Zendaya will be reprising her role as MJ, but only in a smaller role. Jacob Batalon is also returning as Ned, most likely in a small role as well. And our new cast members are Sadie Sink. Another rumor of who Sadie Sink could potentially be playing in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Because according to somewhat reliable industry insider Jeff Snyder, so again, take this with a grain of salt, but according to his source, he's hearing that Sadie Sink is going to be playing a multiverse version of Gwen Stacy. Hold on a minute, player, because I'm going to stop you right there. As soon as you hear multiverse version of Gwen Stacy, I'm already thinking it's going to be Ghost Spider. Or Spider-Gwen if you watch the Spider-Verse movies. And don't get it twisted, on paper, this definitely sounds like great casting. She could definitely pull it off, and it would also add to the trope of them getting blondes to play redheads and redheads to play blondes. But just how many more times can we keep introducing Spider-Gwen in a Spider-Man property? We already got the Spider-Verse movies. She's going to be in your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man season 2. And at least in my opinion, it seems like she solidified herself as the third most recognizable Spider-Person out there. I'm not saying she's my third favorite, but in terms of her showing up everywhere, it's got to be her. And I definitely like this better than this theory, by the way. This was never an actual report or an actual rumor. This was just a fan theory that went crazy that people all of a sudden said was a rumor. She could be playing a multiverse version of Mayday Parker, specifically Tobey Maguire's daughter, which, don't get me wrong, that'd be fire in a Sam Raimi Spider-Man 4, not an MCU Spider-Man 4. Because don't forget, Sadie Sink is playing his new love interest. What in the Sweet Home Alabama are y'all talking about? Y'all are letting Game of Thrones rot your brain. It's still not as ass as her being the new Mary Jane Watson when we already have Mary Jane Watson, the perfect one too, by the way. Just let her dye her hair red and she's already a model. I never bought the Jean Grey rumors at all, because why would Marvel Studios introduce their new version of the X-Men in a Sony Spider-Man movie? I get that it's still the MCU, but they're gonna want their profit for themselves. Plus, like I said, she's a new love interest. Why would Spider-Man be in a relationship with Jean Grey? She's already in a fucking throuple already. If they ever add Madeline Pryor, like, bro, she's got the most soap opera fucking love life of all time. Firestar, though, interesting. Would not be mad at this. But I'm still calling bullshit on this rumor. I think she's just gonna end up being Carly Cooper, or at least in a goddamn, or an adaptation amalgamation of both Jean DeWolf and Carly Cooper, or just straight up a younger version of Jean DeWolf. Because this would be a bunch of payoff for a Death of Jean DeWolf storyline if they actually date before she dies instead of her just having a crush on Spider-Man. Plus, he wouldn't see that coming. If she was Gwen, he would know to stay the fuck away from her, because Andrew's Peter already told him about his Gwen. But who knows, because don't make promises you can't keep. Those are the best kind. But either way, Sadie Sink as an alternate version of Gwen Stacy is the biggest rumor right now. I'm calling cap on it though. But let me know what you think. Liza Colon Zayas, again, a role we still don't know. And Jon Bernthal officially coming back as Punisher, is making his big screen debut. Man, what a time to be alive. I love comics. I love movies. Man, I just love being alive right now, bro. If you feel the same, let me know. But that's all the new news we got on Spider-Man Brand New Day. But I'm curious to hear your thoughts. What do you think of this news? My thoughts, my theories, my opinions? Drop a comment down below. And as always, like and follow for more.